So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to talk about a very burning topic, and that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi has recently announced high-powered task force on exam reforms. So I'm sure you must be aware this has been very much in the news with regards to the exam reforms, the NEET controversy. We have seen the protest happen in Jantar Mantar, etc. And finally, it led to the resignation of the education minister. So we will discuss about it in today's class, and we will discuss about the high-powered task force as well. Okay, so this is our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel. And you go to the video section. We are providing videos here also. So one is live session that we take, and similarly in video section we are providing you static GK content. For example, NEET controversy. We have taken a separate class on it where I have discussed about it since the beginning and the end, and the beginning of the Cockroach Janata Party, the Jantar Mantar protest, Mr. Sonam Wangchuk's fast, etc. We have discussed here. And one more thing, this is also very important class, this one, the Great Nicobar project, because you all had actually requested me that, sir, please take a class on this. And I would find that, yes, it is very, very important for this year. We have seen a lot of news with regards to the Great Nicobar project as well. Okay, so let us start. Now, let me give you a background again, a short background I am giving you for this topic. You know what happened was NEET as actually an exam that is conducted by NTA, National Testing Agency. NEET is actually an all India level medical examination, you know it. What happened was the exam was conducted on 3rd May this year, and almost around 22.7 lakh students sat for the exam. Now what happened was a few days later it was found a lot of hue and cry happened that the paper got leaked, etc. And finally it was cancelled on 12th May 2026. The government accepted it, and the investigation started. And what happened actually was a lot of guest paper that actually matched with the full question paper, or a lot of a big section of questions were actually matched from there. So later on it was found that basically it was a paper leak. So these things actually happen. So people filed petition, the Supreme Court of India, a lot of protests and many other things happen, you know, these things. And the CBI, the Rajasthan police and other forces actually, they tried to ensure the arrest, and all these things were actually in the news. Now, what happened was something similar happened. There were some controversies 2 years back also with regards to NEET UG examination. I'm sure you must be aware. And in fact, in the past also, we had seen many other exams. There were controversies. We keep on seeing these things. However, the NEET became a very big issue. So after 3rd May, exam was conducted. On 12th May, the government accepted. The government released that, yes, the paper got leaked. We will conduct the examination again. However, of course, after that, we have seen a lot of people actually taking their lives, etc. And a lot of controversies happen. Finally, on 21st June, the government again conducted the examination. However, the anger by that time had actually increased against the education ministry and all. So let us talk about education ministry a little bit, and then we will discuss about the foundation of CJP, Sonam Wangchuk, etc. So Ministry of Education, let us talk about it. And if we go in the past, actually the education ministry was there since the beginning. That is since 1947. So first education minister of India was Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Okay. And his birthday comes on 11th November. And that's why we celebrate this as National Education Day. Okay. Not only that, there is one more also called as 5th September. Sometimes people ask, 5th September is celebrated as Teachers' Day. This is whose memory? In whose memory? In the memory of first Vice President of India. We celebrate 5th September as Teachers' Day, you know, 5th September is the birthday of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. He was the first Vice President of India. Okay. Fair. So what happened was this first education ministry we have discussed, 1947. Now this name of the education ministry was changed in 1985. Called as Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi at that time was the Prime Minister of India. Later on, when in National Education Policy, the 3rd National Education Policy came in 2020, during the tenureship of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, actually the 3rd National Education Policy, they said actually that you need to rename it as Ministry of Education. And since then, it has been renamed back as Ministry of Education. So this is the story of Ministry of Education. So there were actually 3 ministers, you know it. First of all, you should watch this class. In this class, we have discussed in detail about ministry and ministers. We have seen question in 2021. We have seen question in 2026. These questions we have seen on ministers and ministries being asked. So what I would suggest is you should know like there's something called as cabinet rank minister. And below this is what we call it as minister of state. Below this is also there is deputy minister, but actually deputy minister is no more like being used in the practice these days. Okay. So cabinet rank and minister of state is there. And if there is no cabinet rank minister in the ministry, the ministry will be headed by a minister of state, but we write it minister of state independent charge in that case. Watch this class, you will get to know in detail, and ministers and ministries are very, very important. Okay. So basically, if you see it here, before the resignation, this was the case. So the cabinet minister was Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. In the education ministry, and you can see. And the Minister of State in Education Ministry was Mr. Sukanta Majumdar and Mr. Jan Chaudhary. So these two were Minister of State in Education Ministry. Jan Chaudhary from Rashtriya Lokdal and Mr. Sukanta Majumdar is from BJP. So both Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan and Sukanta Majumdar were actually from BJP. Now, Minister of States are there, and Minister of State is not a state level minister. Here, a state does not mean that you are talking about province. Here, a state actually means government. So, Minister of State is actually the second rank in the union ministry only after cabinet ministry, after cabinet minister. Okay, so that is what you should be knowing about. Yes. Now, what happened was actually when the paper leak happened, 3rd May, actually the exam was supposed to happen in the NEET exam. However, by 12th May, the government accepted that yes, paper has been leaked and we will be having a fresh examination. Now, on the same occasion, on 15th May, I'm sure you must have heard, CGI Suryakant, Justice Suryakant had said something. He actually was hearing some petition in which he had said that some of the unemployed are becoming cockroaches, parasites, they're attacking the system, they become social media, RTI activists, etc. So that also led to a lot of hue and cry that CGI is calling unemployed youths of this country as parasite and cockroaches. However, later on, next day, he clarified also that no, I was hearing a petition with regards to a fake LLB degree type thing. So he said that I was talking about those who are having fake degree. I was referring to those people. That those who are having fake degrees, they are actually cockroaches and parasite. I was not referring to all the unemployed youths of the country. So that's what he clarified it. However, the term actually became very prominent, and finally there was a guy called as Abhijit Dipke. We had discussed about it. That he was there in Boston University. He had previously served with Aam Aadmi Party, and he made actually on the online Cockroach Janata Party. So a party was made. Actually, it is not a political party technically because it is not registered with Election Commission of India. So he made that party. It's actually a website movement, and he made X account, Instagram account. They got a lot of subscriber, a lot of support, much more than the ruling BJP Instagram support of CJP, the subscriber, etc. Or you can say the followers. And on 6th June, actually, he decided to come back from USA to Delhi to start a protest at Jantar Mantar against the resignation, or for the resignation of Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. So primarily the resignation, that was the main thing, but there were other things also. The one of the thing was those who had actually NEET aspirants who had died, they should be given, at least their family should be given 1 crore rupees, etc. and all. And so these are some of the things that was the main protest. So when they started protest, Sonam Wangchuk also supported him. He sat on fast indefinite hunger strike. And on 18 July, on the 21st day of fast, he was actually taken up by the police and admitted in Safdarjung hospital. However, later on, his wife filed a petition in the High Court to be shifted to Medanta Hospital, and the High Court allowed him that he should be shifted to Medanta Hospital. Safdarjung is a government hospital, in Delhi, and Medanta is a very prominent private hospital in Gurugram. You must have heard its name. Okay, so these things actually happen. Now, what happened was on 20th July, these things, they were supposed to have a Sansad March. So from actually Jantar Mantar, they were supposed to go to the Parliament of India. And outside it, we have seen a lot of actually lathi charge also happen. And there were scenes where actually the lathi charge was brutal at some places. So that is what it was actually in the news. A lot of hue and cry happened. A lot of social media support happened that the Delhi police has misused the power, etc. These things, or they crossed the line. These things actually were in the news. You must have been aware of that. Now, finally, even after that lathi charge and all, the protest continued at Jantar Mantar, and finally, actually, the main demand was Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation on 25th July 2026. stepped down from his role as Education Minister of India. And finally, we had seen on 25th July, somewhere around 2 to 3 p.m. around that, this news actually got broke that Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan has resigned as Education Minister. So he resigned as cabinet rank, in the cabinet rank. I've told you. So if you go back, you can see it here. Let me show. He was actually the cabinet rank. So he had only resigned, the top minister. Because of course, actually the idea behind this is called as what we use the word moral responsibility. I know. So the idea is actually why people were asking for the resignation. Actually, it is not that people are saying that Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan was involved in the paper leak. But the idea is it is called, there's a term called as moral responsibility. Something similar we had seen when Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. When Lal Bahadur Shastri ji was the railway minister of India. Okay. So there was an incident, I think, when Mr. Nehru was the prime minister, he was the actually railway minister of India, and Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri actually himself resigned because of a railway accident. He himself resigned. You go back, check the year in which he had resigned. Later on, he became the prime minister of India, but at that time he had resigned, taking the moral responsibility. Because you have to understand, like railway accident happened, so it does not mean that it is a direct failure of the railway minister. But the idea is, after all the answerability or accountability comes to you. You are at the top of the hem of the affairs. Generally, you must have seen. So, as a moral responsibility, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji had resigned. And that is why people were asking for the resignation of Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. Okay, so he had resigned. However, the two Minister of State, so Mr. Sukanta Majumdar and Jayant Chaudhary remains the Education Minister of India. Okay, the Minister of State rank. Now, the question is, he resigned as the minister in the cabinet rank. You can see it here. So he resigned from the cabinet rank, and of course the government is supposed to immediately replace him with someone. So the government replaced him with Mr. Prahlad Joshi. We will discuss about him. We'll discuss about him, but let us talk something about Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan in detail. He was the 9th Education Minister of India from 2021 to 2026. He represents which constituency? Because these questions can be asked. That he is a member of parliament from where? So Sambalpur in Odisha. It is very important. He is a Lok Sabha MP from Sambalpur in Odisha from Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP. Okay. Now, if you see, Union Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneur from 2017 to 2024, Union Minister of Steel 2009 to 19 to 2021, and Union Minister of Petroleum Gas from 2014 to 2021. So he had earlier served as other ministers also in the cabinet rank: Skill Development, Steel, and Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister. Okay, so these things you should be knowing about. और देख सकते हैं ना, so he's a member of parliament right now from Lok Sabha, Sambalpur, Odisha. And previously he had served as member of parliament Rajya Sabha also from 2018 to 2024 and 2012 to 2018. Twice he had served as Rajya Sabha MP also. And he was earlier from 2000 to 2004 he was a member of Odisha Legislative Assembly. He was born in Odisha, of course, Talcher, and he was studied from Utkal University in Odisha. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. Okay, तो ये उनके बारे में हो गया. Please read something about it. So that is what about him. That's, I think, more than enough about Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. Now let's talk about the new education minister. So basically, you should know that he has been given an additional charge. So Union Minister of Education. Let us see. So for the timing actually. Mr. Joshi has been given the Ministry of Education right now because the moment he had resigned, there should not be any vacancy. The idea is vacancy is not very good, so immediately someone else should be appointed as the Education Minister of India. So Mr. Prahlad Joshi or Mr. Prahlad Venkatesh Joshi has been given the additional charge. He's been given the charge of being an Education Minister because he's having other ministries also. For example, Ministry of Consumer Affairs होगा, mistakenly लिखा है. This he is also having Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. He is already this minister, and he is already Minister of New and Renewable Energy. He is already having these two ministries with him: Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and another is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. ठीक से नहीं लिखा है. This is not correctly written. इसको correct कर लीजिएगा. This is actually Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and he's having another ministry called as Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. In the past, he had served as the president of BJP Karnataka. He had served as president of BJP Karnataka from 2012 to 2016. And that's what about him. And let's learn something about him. He actually had joined Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh at a very young age. And you can see it here. So he organized a movement to host Indian flag at Eidgah Maidan in Karnataka. And there was a recent Supreme Court judgment with regards to that as well. And he is also a member of parliament, Lok Sabha member of parliament. So they can ask you from where he is a Lok Sabha member of parliament. So he's a Lok Sabha member of parliament from Dharwar, Karnataka. He was born in Mysore, Karnataka, and he's actually from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Okay, this is the place, college from where he has studied. And you can read something about him. He had earlier served as Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister. He was instrumental in bringing abrogation of Article 370 Bill, Constitutional Amendment, CAA Bill, etc. and all. Okay, he had previously served as Minister of Coal, Minister of Mines, etc. also. Now let us talk about today. So we have actually seen it. I've just saw this actually. PM Modi actually posted this YouTube reel or shorts where he said that high power task force has been set up under Shri Nandan Nilekani. So we'll discuss about Nandan Nilekani. You will be surprised to know that he is actually a member of Congress. He had fought election also, although technically he is not active in politics. But right now, technically, even he still remains a member of the Congress. However, he had been, other than that, he had been a former chairperson of Infosys, and he had been instrumental in Aadhaar, UIDI, UPI, etc. So Mr. Nandan Nilekani is a very famous personality. He's a technocrat, bureaucrat, and industrialist, whatever you can say. A lot of names can be given to him. So Mr. Nandan Nilekani to lead high power task force on exam reforms. Okay, so what is the idea? PM Modi on Sunday, that is 26 July, announced the constitution of high power task force to be headed by former UIDAI chairman. UIDAI is the same authority which generates Aadhaar card for us. And this has all the data. UIDAI is a statutory body. Statutory body means a body which is formed as a result of a parliamentary law. And so there is an Aadhaar Act, So Chairman Nandan Nilekani to recommend steps to make country's examination leak-proof and technology-driven. So basically, this task force is supposed to give the recommendation to the government of how to ensure that there should not be any leak in the examination and all. So, we should ensure that the exam system should be can be trusted, transparent, and tech savvy. Under the leadership of renowned technology expert Mr. Nandan Nilekani, a high-powered task force will be set up. Now, if you read about Mr. Nandan Nilekani, he had worked with the government, both the current Modi government, Mr. Modi's government, and Mr. Manmohan Singh's government. He had served with them. In the past, set up Aadhaar ecosystem. UPI, UPI was launched in 2016, National Payment Corporation of India. UPI everyone knows. Like, I'm expecting Gen Z to know what exactly is UPI. He's the chairman of governing body and a policy research think tank, National Council for Applied Economic Research. And he's a co-founder of Infosys. Everyone knows what is Infosys. Very famous company. And founded by Mr. Narayan Murthy, etc. He was also, Mr. Nandan Nilekani was one of the co-founder of that. Multidisciplinary panel of domain experts will revamp NTA. Now you can see here if you see the team, first of all, the chairperson is Mr. Nandan Nilekani, who had earlier served as UIDA chairman. Next, former ISRO chairman Mr. S. Somanath. S. Somanath, very famous personality. He had recently few months back he had completed his ISRO chairmanship. Then we have former IB director Mr. Tapan Kumar Deka. He had recently retired as an IB director. IIT Chennai director Mr. V. Kamokoti. Former education secretary Anita Karwal and logistics expert Amrit Lal Meena. So these are the top personalities which are there in this committee or a task force, and they will actually recommend the government how to handle it, etc., and how to ensure that there should not be any further, I would say, exam leak, etc. Mr. Modi posted a reel on Instagram announcing the formation of this high-powered committee. And this comes after the resignation of Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan as the Union Education Cabinet Minister. Okay? And ये तो हम लोग डिस्कस कर लिया Mr. Prahlad Joshi, है ना? He is already having Union Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution and Minister of New and Renewable Energy. है ना? There are few education ministries running few very important schemes. One is Samagra Shiksha. The idea is to promote education in India. And there was earlier a scheme called a Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. So there are 2-3 initiatives that were merged into this Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. And now you must be aware of that. PM Shri schools. The idea is to renovate and upgrade the schools by digital technologies, by giving having a smart boards, etc. Many other things. PM Poshan is nothing but midday meal scheme. है ना, मिड डे मील scheme, these things, that if you will study in government schools, during the daytime you will be provided with food also. It is a source of attraction for many poor students that they should come to the school at least for the purpose of eating, and gradually they can become a part of the school by learning, etc. and all. Okay, that is the idea behind this, है ना. So these are the things you should be knowing about. Who is Nandan Nilekani? Mr. Nandan Nilekani, head of PM task force on exam reforms, है ना. High power task force, है ना. He has been an entrepreneur, technocrat, bureaucrat, etc. He's a pass out from IIT Bombay, है ना. In 1981, he joined Mr. N.R. Narayan Murthy and 5 others to establish Infosys, है ना. So in Patni Computers earlier he used to work. Later on he established Infosys with the help of Mr. Narayan Murthy. Okay, so he's one of the co-founder. Mr. Nilekani stepped down from Infosys in July 2009 to serve as the founding chairman of UIDI. A UIDI was established during Mr. Manmohan Singh time era. Aadhaar was at that time. Aadhaar card, etc. And at that time, the Congress-led government invited him to become a chairperson of UIDAI. He coordinated with Karnataka Congress, led Chief Minister S.M. Krishna to establish Bangalore Agenda Task Force also. And in 2023, so he had worked both with the Congress as well as the BJP, when India was hosting the G20 summit in September 2023. India hosted G20 in September 2023. In the month of January, Nilekani was appointed as the co-chair of G20 task force also on digital public infrastructure for economic transformation, financial inclusion and development. These things you should be knowing about. And in this government, he was actually instrumental in ensuring the success of UPI. In fact, he had joined Congress. I told you that he had joined Congress in 2014. He fought the election from Bangalore South and lost from Mr. Anand Kumar. Since then, he is not active in the politics, but still technically he has not resigned from the Congress. So he is still a member of the Congress. You can read about him, co-founder of Infosys, non-executive chairman. And you can read about him, about Mr. He's a member of Congress, but not active since 2019. In October 2025, he's the 100th richest person in India with a net worth of $3.2 billion. ठीक है, आप देख सकते हो इनके बारे में. IIT Bombay pass out. Of course, these are some of the things you should be knowing. He started career from Patni Computers, then later on he joined Mr. Narayan Murthy's Infosys and become one of the co-founder, etc. These are the stories about him. And Aadhaar, you know what exactly it is. Then in this government, he played an important role in ensuring the success of UPI, etc. Okay, so he has decided to donate 50% of their wealth, he along with his wife, to Giving Pledge, which is a movement organized by Bill Gates, etc. And he has got these honors, Rotman School of Management, University of Toronto, NDTV Year of the Year. He had got Padma Bhushan in 2006 from APJ Abdul Kalam sir. So these things you should know. So, Padma Bhushan. The Padma Bhushan is the third highest civilian award of India. So these are the things. Okay, so this is all about today's class. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.